tell you, I'm filming a documentary about doing this, and we're actually doing this at the same time.
And it's literally happening. It's like a weird version of like audio commentary.
It is.
Like, I'm actually recording my audio commentary, which I'm going to be audio commenting on.
It's very meta audio-esque.
It's kind of a giant mind, just like, oh.
What is Golden Eagle Radio? It's something more than just a place to have a voice. We'd like to think it's a reaction to change. This world is a place where everyone has witnessed constant technological evolution. When you come to a university that hasn't adapted to change, you start to ask yourself, am I going to walk away from this? Or am I going to do something about it? That's Golden Eagle Radio.
I've been working at California State University since 1981, with 2 years off, but I've been here for 32 years. There was no club created, no student radio club that I remember that was able to actually get out there and broadcast. Students were interested in radio, but when confronted with the reality that it would sometimes take at least 4 years just to get the license, that was a difficult issue.
And the social network ones are the ones that I'd like to hand out because, or the Golden Eagle TV, but basically the social network ones, your line can be, we want to be in touch with you after you graduate. I decided to transfer to Cal State LA in November of 2011 because they were the backup plan. I figured if I could make it in LA, then I could make it anywhere. When I came in November 2011, I inquired about a radio station. I saw that there was a building up on the hill, and it was a television, film, and media studies building, but it wasn't open yet. It was still under construction. And when I noticed that there were no radio classes offered, as well as only 2 journalism classes, I felt, in a sense, I felt like I kind of put myself at a disadvantage because I came up to LA for radio, and I've now enrolled in a school that studies television, film, and media, but not specifically radio. I already had a background in owning companies, working for radio stations, working for record labels, working for internet radio stations down in San Diego. So coming up to LA, I felt I had all of these qualifications, but I really had no platform for me to display what talents I had. And I found that was a common factor here on campus. I asked around and tried to find the right people who were interested in doing a radio station, who were transfer students and had the same experience, and just people who wanted to do something to give back to the school. And that's when I met Professor Tony Cox.
This is a very important time in the history of Cal State LA because we have not had a radio station since I can't even remember when, and it's embarrassing for a school this size not to have a radio station that's run by the students.
Professor Cox introduced me to a student by the name of Evan Nelson. Again, came over here for film, but really had a passion for radio and saw that there wasn't a radio station and wanted to create one.
What's really nice about the current operation is that all you needed was a club on campus with interested people, and you could do it.
That was the first step that Evan Nelson and I figured we could do, was create this club.
I want you to be able to come in here and sit down and have your 2 anchors right here, and maybe your weather and your sports person over here. Tony Cox always told me that you gotta go and build one really good radio show. I only have my one laptop, Nicole has her laptop, and you know, it's a hard thing to do when we have so many people who are interested in radio. So I had this idea of just building this, you know, and with Matt Gatlin's help, we got the 3 monitor system over here, we got the 3 radios, we got the 3 mic system, right? Got the 3 mic system.
How did you get in right now?
We have the key.
State universities are notoriously slow in adapting to change. I mean, one Unlike some private schools which have a large endowment or high tuitions that can essentially launch a program very quickly, or because they're not answering to a larger authority like the state chancellor's office. It's not that the chancellor's office is in any way blocking it. It's just that there are extremely elaborate procedures for getting things like this done at a state university.
This is my job. All right, are you ready?
I'm excited to have all of
All right, so people, with the advent of the internet and social networks and social media and right on our smartphones, we were able to connect with people in other countries just by Facebook and just coming to our websites, and they could make a Facebook request for a song and then tell us thank you, and it was really an interesting and neat way to broaden our demographic.
We couldn't incorporate radio into Cal State LA with the resources that we had. And frankly, if you don't have a radio station on a campus in a major urban area now, you're probably not going to get it in terms of a broadcast station. Internet stations, rather. Those are fine. You can have as many of those as you want. And actually that's kind of, that's freeing. That's wonderfully liberating to be able to have a station just when you want it. All you need is a microphone and a mixer, and you've got a station.
When Evan Nelson had the opportunity to work for HBO in December of 2012, and he had to pass the proverbial torch on, he asked me if I wanted to take on the presidency, and I gladly accepted, and I thought that this was something I knew I could do. I knew that in order to get this vision that I had for the radio station, which would be a media network that we're going to create here on campus, with a radio station to a television station to an entire social media network, I needed somebody who could see that vision, believed in that vision, and was willing to help put the dirty work in, help me make it come alive.
You're listening to Chillin' with Anna Like Bananas here on Golden Eagle Radio and Golden Eagle TV.
I'm the historian for Golden Eagle Radio, but Nicole originally got me on as a documentarian, so I would go to each and every single meeting or anything we would, like any events or anything we would do, and just record them with my camera and make videos and record the audio for meetings and make flyers too, so I was involved in the branding of everything. She told me what her vision was, and I made it into a tangible form.
As the president and as the station manager, you have to be a politician. And I felt that that was the best role that I could play, is to be the voice, the mouthpiece of Golden Eagle Radio. And while she's helping me create this external persona, I was able to target the individual people and say, look, this is the product. You should invest in it. And going to meetings and meeting ASI, Associated Students Incorporated, meeting people at the Cross Cultural Center, the Center for Student Involvement, administration, faculty, staff, meeting anybody and everybody, because I knew that this radio station is for all 21,000 people on campus.
I think Golden Eagle Radio is wonderful. I think Golden Eagle Radio is precisely what we should have been doing if only the technology had been there for us to do it in the first place. And so what you need to think about it like is the way you would think about a broadcast station. Obviously, though, broadcast stations need a significant amount of resources that a internet radio station does not need. You don't need to have transmitters. You don't need to have FCC licenses. You don't need to have a large engineering staff on call all the time. And you can build it as you build your team, because you may have enough people now to put on 5 shows, and at a certain time, if you need to put on more shows, then you need to have more people. So that's really it. It's person power. It's interested students.
I got involved in Golden Eagle Radio over one of the summer quarters. I had a class with Nicole Fetter, the president of the Golden Eagle Radio, and she basically convinced me to join because she was just telling everybody about the radio station, literally everybody in class, and I was just one of those people, and I was like, it sounds interesting and fun, like it's something I never tried before or even thought I would end up doing, but I don't want to say I got dragged into it, but willingly. Well, Golden Eagle Radio just started a class, or is about to start a class for the winter quarter that we're testing out, and that hopefully our plan is to make it stay so that it becomes a part of the curriculum and part of the school, because it's not for us, it's for other people. So we have to make it so that our descendants or proteges are able to run it after we're gone, and that it stays a cycling part of the university system after we've left.
If you want to do a radio station, you have to have enough bodies to put out the programming and to do the programming regularly. I hope Golden Eagle Radio continues. I hope Golden Eagle Radio grows. It's a terrific outlet. I mean, it's a place where students, particularly say in broadcast journalism, among other things, can get experience doing the thing they're studying. And that's very important. And to the degree that a university can provide that resource, it makes those programs much richer. There's always people who are interested in college radio. I was involved in college radio when I was a student.
We started Golden Eagle Radio April 1st, 2013, and in 6 months, we have moved mountains. We've gotten faculty to support us, administration to support us, students to support us, classmates. Everybody is on board and really believes in Golden Eagle Radio and our mission. And it's going to do great things.
Nothing is so much the same as change, right? There's nothing, I mean, change is basically the one thing you can count on. And like I said, I've been here for over 30 years. And even as slow as this place can be in terms of adapting to things, there's been a lot of change. So it's my hope that I think Golden Eagle Radio and Golden Eagle Television are terrific ideas. And it's my hope that they continue.